Hey everybody, welcome back to Open Fire Tactical. I'm your host Buttonhole. Hey, I just wanted to follow up on the 4570 lever action saddle gun. Got a weird comment. I love all the comments. Please, good, bad, indifferent, I don't care. And we'll go from there and I'll try to address it. But this one, it had me a little bit perplexed, and the reason why I say that is because the author of the comment said, I don't understand the purpose of the video. And the video is about practical accuracy at specific distances. So like I said, 200 and closer. And that 4570, I should be able to connect at 185 yards, relatively speaking. And I know that it has a trajectory of a rainbow and all that junk, but we're not talking about black powder cartridges. We're talking about modern smokeless powders, and it is tremendously more powerful than the black powder. With that being said, the gentleman also said that, that's 1,000-yard cartridge. Right. And I agree with you on that. However, there's a caveat, and that caveat is this lever action is not a Quigley gun. So those 4570s, 45110, 45120s, and I am by no means an expert on this cartridge at all. I know that they go a long way. I know that there's competitions, and they're shooting these big pieces of steel at 1,000 yards, like buffalo targets or whatever. Yeah, that's totally doable. But we're talking about a barrel that is upward 28 inches, 32, 34 inches long. This one, I believe, is 16 and a quarter. I have not measured it, but I think it's about 16. I can pause the video and measure it, or I can just measure it while you guys are watching. And that ladder sight, there is no replacement for it, like a buckhorn that I was talking about, that I wanted to get. That leaf, so the ladder on the, for different ranges from 2 up to as high as it goes, you can just move it up and down. It's stupid. And so there's like a little spring in there, I guess, and they're all wore out. So it doesn't hold elevation. Every time you fire it, it drops back down. And I have a zip tie underneath it. I know that sounds so pitiful and sad, but it's true. But it's stuck at the 400-yard mark. And the way this rifle is hitting, so today I went back to the basics because, I can't spot for myself. And it's nice to have a spotter with you when you're out shooting. But in my case, I don't. So I just have to do what I have to do. And if I can call it, I call it. And if I can't, I can't. And so I started all over again. I started at 50 yards. And let me show you my target. I'm going to switch the viewpoint. So here's my target. And so I did the 405 lead, the 405 semi-jacketed, and then the 300 grain full metal jacket. I know I kept saying full copper. They're not full copper. It's not a solid copper projectile at all. It's just target ammo, but those are 300 grain. So with the 405 lead being first this morning, it was 1 and then 2, 3. So this was my center of my point of aim, sorry. Then I did the 405 semi-jacketed, which is these 2, or 3 rather, sorry. 1, 2, 3, stacked them. And that's at 50 yards. And then my 300 grain, gee whiz, I'm all over the place, I apologize. 1, 2, and 3. And so I said, okay, well, at least it's going straight up and down, and, at 100 yards, this group theoretically should drop down here in this area somewhere, and it didn't. So out at 100 yards, the lead, I have no idea where it went. I think it went over the top. but I can't verify that. Then the 405 semi-jacketed, I had one hit here, and I think these two, but I can't recall if they were there. I'm usually pretty good about marking those, but I need to replace this whole piece of plastic. And then I did 3 of the Full Metal Jacket 300 grains, and this is the group. Now that group looks pretty good, right? This was my point of aim. So it's doing all kinds of weird stuff. So what I did is I called Browning, told them what was going on and what I was looking to do. And I said, yeah, I want to replace that with a buckhorn rear if that's even possible. And they said, no, they don't even make sights for that rifle anymore. I also misquoted myself too. I said it was a 1894 4570 lever gun. It's not, it's an 1886. So I just want to make that clear. It is an 1886, but it's a modern. It's not a real, wasn't really made in 1886, and it was made in Japan. You know, a cool rifle, nostalgic. I think it's a beautiful rifle, and I'm really honored to own this thing. But, you know, if it doesn't shoot properly, then, you know, only accurate guns are fun. And I'm quoting Larry Potterfield from Midway USA when I say that. And there's a heap of truth in that. So I'm kind of chasing my rounds, not really sure, but I do have a Lyman rear sight on order. Should get it sometime this week or at the end of the month. So maybe, you know, at worst, March 1st, which is a Saturday. And Sunday, I'll probably be out at the range and I'll do another updated video and I'll let you guys know what the outcome of that was. But anyway, I just wanted to touch bases with you. Let all of you know how much I appreciate each and every one of you sincerely for tuning in to Open Fire Tactical and this clown Buttonhole. I appreciate that so very much. And I just picked up another 2 subscribers, so now I'm at 75. And I thank you all very much. We're going to keep this channel as real as possible. I'm going to show you all my mistakes and things that don't go as according as I think they should. I'm just going to keep that in there, keep the camera rolling. Like I said, I'm still doing this on my phone. Nothing fancy. There's no phone holder. There's no gimbal. I don't have a tripod for it. The only tripod, that's something else that I'm reminded of. That Death Grip tripod that I had on the 4570 video, I looked like a monkey humping a football, trying to do this. That's not how that thing's supposed to be utilized. So in a future video, I will show that again, but the way you're supposed to do it is your thumb down on the outside leg, or one of the legs closest to your body, and you're using your forearm as a brace as you step up to that. Get your sight picture. But yeah, it's like that. Not like you're holding the rifle, and I look like an idiot. And I was quite embarrassed by it. But on the flip side of that, I'm laughing at myself because I go, yeah, I look like an idiot. And I know better than that. But it's funny how you get caught up in these things. Like I lose my train of thought sometimes when I'm talking, and there'll be like that, a pause. And I don't want to quote Paul Harrell, the great Paul Harrell, and his Shatner-esque pauses, but it does happen, and it happens when you get old. So again, I'm poking fun at myself. If I can't laugh at myself, I don't have a right to laugh at anybody. And so I like to joke and point out my faults regularly. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you guys again so very much for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Please comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. The like, shares, and subscribes, you know, like I said, I'm never going to ask you to do that. I don't believe in it. I don't like it when they say that on all these videos as if we don't know. We're all grown-ups, right? If I like a channel, I'll subscribe to it. If I like the content, I'll give it a thumbs up. If I don't, I just skip right over it. Or I don't do anything, you know, right? But I don't do this as a living. I don't make any money at all. If anything, I'm spending money like nobody's business, but it's just a hobby, and I enjoy shooting. I enjoy the shooting sport so very much, and I'm so tickled that you guys come along with me on this shindig thing that I do, and I'm really touched by it, really. So again, thank you all very, very much for tuning in. Have a blessed day. Open Fire Tactical. See you later.